The National Leadership Institute in Chankwanzi district is like no any other. People don't sit for exams at the end of classes, and there is no formal curriculum for the learners. But the institute has been the NRM regime's training center for its ideologies. In early 2005, legislators headed to the institute without realizing how important their attendance would be.
I attended that meeting because we were two representatives of the army, myself and General J.J. Odong.
However, transparency is said to be one of the critical pillars of building institutions.
From 62 until now, the opposite of transparency in applying methods of resolving issues, there gradually been growth of deception and conspiratorial methods of work. And that's exactly what we encountered in Chankwanzi.
Those who went there only learned from Chankwanzi that the main agenda was to discuss the lifting of presidential term limits.
The regime had gone behind the scenes, of course under the direction of General Museveni, to go and mobilize people in the districts to come to support that idea. By late evening, like midnight, maybe naively so, some of us became satisfied that the issue, much as it was going to be discussed, would not succeed.
By the time night fell, Major General Muntu realized that the mobilization they had made to reject the term limit removal proposal was like a die cast in the sand.
We just went and slept, and in the morning, the next day, it was brought. It was brought now for discussion. And that's when I completely got, in a sense, worried in a sense about the political class. Because the consensus that we had sensed, even people who would say, no, we can't touch this. It is for the stability of the country. It is for establishing certainty in the politics of the country. It is good for the future of the country.
This ties into the saying that you can flip a coin to change its face, but it remains the same. However, Major General Muntu, being from a military background, was reluctant to speak, but realized that he was standing alone, thus gathered courage to ask President Museveni a question.
I had hoped, because of the consensus I had read the night before, that the people were going to come out and express. Now, there are people who could have wanted to say or take positions contrary to what General Museveni desired, but none had been picked yet. So I put up my hand. Fortunately, he asked me to what I wanted to say. So I said, sir, you've listened to only one side, because until that point, nobody had opposed the amendment of the term limits. So I said, I request you to ask whether there are those who are opposed. So he asked, and then those who were opposed started speaking.
6 people were given a chance to table their reasons for objection to the proposal that was almost passing without any hitch. They were all in cabinet besides Muntu.
And the entire atmosphere changed in the meeting. So he terminated the meeting. 6 of us had spoken. Honorable Dandisari had spoken against the amendment of the Constitution to amend the term limit provision. Honorable Sarah Chiinji, Honorable Miriam Matembe, Honorable the late Iria Kategea. All those had been in cabinet. And then Honorable Mushega, who was the Secretary General of the East African Community, and myself, who was in Iyala at that time.
The mood changed, and it was resolved that the issue be put to the public, which everyone felt would decide who becomes the president in the next polls.
The Minister of Constitutional Affairs then was Honorable Janet Mukwaya, who said we should do it in 1 month. We proposed 3. And then we haggled over the period, and then we agreed on 2 months. That the matter should now be taken to the countryside, and the people are engaged, and we pick their views, and at that point, That's when we should discuss the matter any further. We agreed. And then the mandate was given to the president to select a team of 5 to do that. So we came satisfied that, okay, now we've bought ourselves time, we'll have to go around the country and campaign or side. So we get to Kampala, and on Friday, because I think we left Chankwanzi, was it on either Tuesday or Wednesday? Friday meeting is called. The late Wapakaboro, who was the NPC, called National Council. We went. And now there was a proposal to reverse what we had agreed upon, the resolution of Chankwanzi, to go around the country for 2 months and seek opinions of the population. They wanted to change that so that the matter could be thrown into a delegates conference, which was going to happen the next Monday. That's 2 days away. We fought that and we succeeded. We stalled that. It failed.
The NRM's Executive Council was called again, but this time, Major General Muntu was never called during the delegates conference.
Another meeting was called, the same meeting of the National Council. Unfortunately, I never knew about that meeting ever. General Museveni is the one who chaired the one of Sunday. And they brought the proposal which had failed on Friday. And it passed on Sunday. So Monday, that's when they put the issue of having a resolution for the amendment of the Constitution, overturning the resolution of Chankwanzi, which they successfully did, because if you have got 6,000 people completely unprepared, and we selected people whom you ask who support the issue. I never attended that delegates conference.
The delegates conference adopted the proposal to lift term limits, and it was later taken to Parliament. This was passed just like water flowing under the bridge, but leaves spatters of a broken dream and a cloud of uncertainty hovering over Uganda's political future.
Separate from the movement system, because at that time that's when they also brought the amendment of the systems, so that a multi-party dispensation should be established. 2004, and that's when I decided to work. Retired from the army, and that's when a number of us started FDC. The rest is history.
We love this country more than those that received the 5 million shillings, the paltry 5 million shillings, to condemn this country to insecurity, constitutional insecurity. We did our best. We were 93 of us. I could name them for you. We were led by Honorable Augustine Ruzindana and the Parliamentary Advocacy Forum to defend that constitution. And we were outfoxed.
In 2004, Muntu left the NRA, knowing there was no point of return. The proposal was brought to Parliament, and using the power of numbers, the NRM garnered over 2/3 of the majority as a requirement to pass such a law. And after it was passed, no one went to court to challenge silence, which acted as an approval to the regime's plan.
But I think at that time we were carried away by the euphoria, the national resistance movement. I was not a member. You could see people who have said we must have this constitution. So you don't think anybody would, in their right senses, go ahead to amend. That was done. And then let me also now answer this. People talk about, age limit, age limit. I am perplexed. What Ugandans should have made noise about, what Ugandans should have gone to court about, was the term limit, not the age limit.
But this has come with consequences.
When I disagreed with President Museveni over the removal of the term limit, they threw me out like garbage into a dustbin. No pension, no gratuity, no nothing. I've never received any governmental acknowledgement of any of my work I did, but I don't regret.
The term limits were removed in a manner that has become a model that the regime uses to entrench itself and retain power through what is seen as constitutional means. Sudhir Byarhanga, NTV.